the calm. I'm the victim of the victim list, the pill that makes you sick. I am chaos incarnate.
You are not going to want to miss this reaction. We're going live. We're going to watch Vincent's Tale, and we're going to do a deep dive reaction. But before we do that, let's just talk about Jenny and Screech, kind of what got us here. So I did go back and watch a few of the videos, and I'm trying to get an idea of like what's going to happen. And I also watched the prologue, so don't really know what's going on other than I do believe there is a connection to the first story. Some people are thinking there's no connection. I do believe there's going to be a connection because one of the verses in Jenny and Screech is, he says this is where the story ends, the story begins. So he's said this more than once, and I believe that every time he says that, that is a kind of a hint towards wherever that part ends, there's going to be a story that begins. And if you're noticing about what these songs and what these pieces of art are about, you're seeing that there's like this cyclical type of tale where things happen and they're connected. It's generational. Also, we have Vincent Van Gogh, the look-alike there. So we've all watched Jenny and Screech by now, and if you haven't, you should probably go back and watch. You can watch my reaction because I didn't know what was going on at the time. But it's starting to make a lot more sense now. They're definitely dead because he even says that they're dead in Jenny and Screech, in the trilogy as well. And then he's also said it live, and it didn't make any sense for the prologue. So they're gone now. Who is Vincent, and how does Ren fit into this? So now we go over to the prologue, and we had Vincent. This guy looks like Vincent Van Gogh sitting on the couch smoking, and we had him looking at Ren on a television. Now, Vincent Van Gogh was known to have kind of a split personality. He's also an artist. So we're going to have to figure out if there's something to do. Now, previously on my last reaction on the prologue, I did mention that I thought that there was something going on between Ren and Vincent where it might be the same person. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll understand that more in this video that's coming up. But what else? Some people are talking about the father and also Stevie. Nobody wants to see Stevie come back. And when Stevie was making his appearance, it was kind of like Ren singing, in a certain way. So he took kind of on the persona of Stevie. So maybe there's something to that too. But yeah, there's a few things that were in the prologue that I'm wondering about. I saw this like ghost up on the counter. I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. We're all wondering, what's going on here. But there are some things about struggles and living in a city and not ever being able to get ahead. And, the sunflower representing, the dying sunflower, and then the seeds are regrowing, but they never quite take root because they're not being planted in the right place. So if you don't have a good environment around you, you're not going to grow. That's what I'm getting so far. The rest of it would just be complete guesses, but we're just going to hang tight. We're going to hang tight. It's getting close. There's about 5 minutes out. I'll pull it up pretty soon, and then, we'll get into the reaction. But you're definitely going to want to stick around. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We'll do some good analysis when I'm done, or as best as the analog man can do. Man, I love this Ren stuff. He really is a genius. He is one of the few people that can blend rapping, songwriting, and singing, and music all into one storytelling, and it's just a phenomenal work of art the way that he does it. At first I didn't get it. I saw High Ren as my first video, and I was just like, what did I just get into? But I was so intrigued that I just kept going down the rabbit hole. And I'm a guy that likes to think when I listen to music. I love lyrics that have meaning, that have dual meanings, that have deep meanings. And Ren never disappoints when it comes to that. So, all you renegades, I'm sure you guys are on the live. I'll probably just chat once and say yo, but that chat's already moving so fast, I don't think I'll ever be able to find it. But yeah, let's just wait for it to start. Like I said, this is going to be absolutely crazy. I don't know what to expect. I'm just gonna make sure my volume's up. I'm gonna make sure that the volume's up also on everything here. Yeah, turn my volume up also on my computer headphones so I can hear it. I don't know what to expect. I have some ideas. I watched Jenny and Screech again a couple times before this, but I'm not going to be able to talk during the video because this is a live, so I can't cut it like I normally do and stop it. So I'll talk to you after the video once I've watched it with you, because we're doing it live, as you can see, with the chat going crazy right now. I tried to get in there, but I just get overrun. I was there earlier today, and people were talking some crazy, crazy stuff. Golden showers. I don't. If that was one of you, you know who you are. Yeah. So this should be super interesting. We only have a few minutes left, and it'll kick off. Yeah, we got about 60 seconds, and yeah, I'm just gonna hang tight with everybody, and we'll discuss it after. Kind of already given you my, my early predictions, but it can go any direction, to be honest with you. I mean, we're not sure which direction this is going to go. I think we'll be able to tell about halfway through whether, the first story is directly related, or, like I was saying, it's going to be some type of cyclical overarching theme where it could still be related, but you might not see it like in a detail level. But we'll see. We'll just see which direction this thing goes. Yeah, and I'm excited. I hope it starts out with the prologue. I don't know if it's going to start out with the prologue, but I want to hear those trumpets again. So that'll be really cool. Hear that once again. I think everybody liked the trumpets and that kind of that carnival sound. There was so much more that I wanted to talk about, but I'm just excited to see something new, and I love the last one. It'll take me a little while to get this uploaded and everything afterwards, but I appreciate everybody that leaves comments, all the renegades and everybody that's, quite a few of those that are in that chat right now, just blowing, blowing that live up. You can't even get a word in there right now. It's so funny. But, people love Ren, for good reason, good reason. You're listening to a modern day Shakespeare, a poet. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I hope you guys, brushed up on your Vincent Van Gogh history as well. Could be all kinds of things going on here. You know, I really liked it. One thing I did like is how he like kind of did crack his voice when he was talking about shaky grounds, like London shaky ground. And if you listen to the audio really carefully, he does it twice. He kind of like bellows his voice back and forth. And I don't know if that was just timing. Speaking of time, all the kind of the pointing towards the clock and the sound of the ticking going forward and back, like you're going through time. And I think that was so cool. So here we go.
Welcome to the end of days. Below, the fires rage, their hungry flames consuming what little remains of the ancient forests. Far to the north, the polar bears drift on shrinking islands of ice, their silent struggle a haunting echo of our
Animal flow. You're in the belly of a cannibal king, where chaos and anarchy roll. Trouble is bubbling under the skin.
Another Triton on the loose.
Coming up, I do really like Pigman. I had such a good chat with him last night on the terrace, and he is my type on paper.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, because obviously I do want to get to know everyone. It is.
As News 8's Tina Tell tells us, this may be a once-in-a-lifetime event for some people.
Not as exciting as I thought it was going to be,
Capitalism is failing us. People are doing the unthinkable. They are consuming less. The answer? Envy in a pill.
We assembled a team of scientists from all over the world and worked out the chemical composition of envy.
I love you. I need you more than I have the words to say. I don't know how or why, but I would die a broken girl without you. Please, don't go away.
A year on from the tragic stabbing of a 14-year-old girl by a teenage perpetrator, who was then shot by police, the community remains deeply shaken.
Lady love to shade the night of falling down by the Mississippi shore. And for you my lonely heart is calling. Each night I love you more and more. Day and night I seem to dream about you. I sing to you, I sing to you.
Come on, let's have it, you miserable prick. I will do what I want, I will drink till I'm sick to my stomach. I'm sick of the same boring songs. I am sick of these pavements I find myself on. Great Britain, I hate you. I'll say that with pride. It's my right to be violent when you fed me lies. I'm a rotter, a menace when I want to be, and I'll work for that right because nothing comes free. I have slaved all my life in a dull 9 to 5. I just rinse and repeat while I'm barely alive. Great Britain, I loathe you with murderous glee. I will do to this country what you've done to me. Destroy. I want to tear apart these buildings from the cinder blocks they stand. Leave this town in dust and rubble, make some trouble with my hands. I won't lie, I'm fucking wasted, but I wasted all my youth, and I've stayed so damn complacent. Getting wasted is my truth, so my style of self-expression is a fist into the gut. It's throwing up upon these pavements. Shut your fucking mouth, you slut. Banished angel, I am Lucifer. My reign like Genghis Khan, soon you will all know my name. I am the storm after the calm. I'm the victim of the victim list, the pill that makes you sick. I am chaos incarnate. Let's fucking have it then, you prick! Now the rules of the street fight are simple. It's pretty much anything goes. Keeping the street pretty firm on your feet. It pays to be sweet on your toes. And fools they have fallen for clumsy mistakes. Late to react, cop the fist to the face. Now the rules of the street fight are simple. Break that little prick's nose. Throw a punch, you swallow it, follow it, grab the collar, quick hollow tip like karate kick, martial art master, spark a bitch, park a fist on the landing strip, carnage, it finds the cartilage, karma serve like a carbonated cola on the crucifix, kill. Vincent wanna kill, who blood gets spilled, move double that rude boy, kill or be killed. Do it for the fun, blood, do it for the thrill. Blue lights, boy, run, blue lights, boy, chill. Absence of the light, the devil sows a seed in either mind. Vincent was shaken, run from the law, hide from the bacon, crouch on the floor, the cook to omit him. Hate the world spits on him, rapes him, hits him, kicks him when he's down, and that shapes him. He hears the sound of a copper, heart upon his tail proper, Vincent off his rocker. Bothered by the lie that Britain sold him, what a shocker. Where greedy eat the poor, a holy war, the chosen prosper. But some were never chosen, they stay frozen in the locker. Destined to survive in 9 to 5 and watch the clock, but don't think about reality, my little happy shopper. A brand new show on Netflix to distract you from the horror, and swallow all your morals for a retweet or a follow, and shadow ban the problem man, a soul for $1, and keep the fight amongst yourself, don't think about the squalor. The systems don't impose it, or the rules that we all honour. And fuck it, Vincent cooked to boiling point, he's cannon fodder. So what's the use in running, he's already in the locker. He's careless with his actions now, a clumsy motherfucker. He turned to face his fate, cause fate's a bitch and none will stop her. Richard was an officer who stood at 6'3". Was his first day back at work after a time of absent leave. Working London on the night shift, what he didn't think he'd see was a boy with a guitar, bruised and battered on his knees. But Richard lived in caution now, tormented by his past. Not so quick to find the trigger, not so fast. But Richard was a righteous man who lived inside the law. So he leapt upon poor Vincent and he cuffed him to the floor.
Oh my God. What did I just watch? Whoa, my brain is fried. Now, there's just so much going on. One, why did it end so fast? We wanted it to keep going. Now, this one, musically, the arrangement wasn't quite like the prologue. I really liked the prologue arrangement. This was more of the storytelling. But there was other things going on there, and one thing I'm like, I'm not a music aficionado. I don't really understand how chords are put together and things like that. I took a little music class, but I don't really know it. I can't play music, so there you go. I don't really know, but I do hear like it's when he plays this music kind of with the chords. Sometimes it feels like it ends. I won't say improperly because he's doing it on purpose, but it ends in a way where it's like not completely done. If you know what I mean. So that's kind of an allure to the way that he does his music style. Now let's get back into this, and oh man, we got a lot to unpack here. Well, there is a character that showed up from Jenny and Screech. So let's just talk about that right away. So it's definitely connected to Jenny and Screech because that officer that stood 6'3", yeah, he showed up again. That's Richard, I believe, right? He was in Jenny and Screech. And then he's the one that popped. Remember with the guitar where it just goes boo, boo, boo. He popped Screech. So he killed him. And now he's talking about how the guy's like a righteous guy and like, dude, what a bad day. So now it's like, oh, maybe not the same day. Well, yeah. So this is in the future slightly, right? Because the prologue showed that, obviously the ambulance, all that stuff was a news story already. So this is a little bit like right afterwards. And so now it's in the same city. All this other crazy stuff is going on. And you got Richard, who was just this cop doing his job. He's a beat cop. And it sounds like he's a good man. But he ended up killing a boy, a 14-year-old boy. And it says he took absent leave. Like he took leave because he was probably dealing with the mental stress of what just happened. And, said he had to move out of town or something like that. And so, yeah, he's the one that killed Screech. And now he was about to kill Vincent, but he handcuffed him because it's still weighing on him what just happened. So, yeah, there's a story about that police officer. So this is just part of this whole environmental thing that he keeps mentioning. Like, people are getting pulled into different things just by chance and circumstance, by fate. He talks about the fate. Now, this is kind of this human condition, right, that we're all stuck in. I could drive down the street tomorrow and something strange could happen and I could get pulled into it. You just don't know what fate has for you, right? Yeah, that is kind of really... Okay, that's unpacking a lot for me now because there is that connection. Now, who is Vincent? Now, I looked at his sweatshirt from the prologue. It said Luke. I think that's just a brand out there. I don't know if that's something to do, but maybe not. But so he was sitting there and he's smoking, watching TV, and he's watching Ren. But yet Ren was there with Vincent outside of the bar, or he was in the bar. So, but there was a very key point where Ren basically says, I am Lucifer. And that has kind of unpacked this for me, I believe. I mean, I might be wrong, but Ren is being this evil spirit, essentially. Even in Jenny and Screech, when he shows himself and he's like, kind of when Stevie's being evil, it's this character, it's this demon that's coming out inside of a human, right? It's this alter ego, but it's also this bad spirit that is pushing them over the brink. Because if you look at when Vincent was sitting outside the bar, I think Vincent came out of the bar. He was drunk. He had his drink, but that evil spirit was with him too, which is Ren, right? And he's drunk and he, sits down on the curb and he's out. Now Ren comes out and pulls the guitar from him. So it's almost like this spirit is basically antagonizing him to, just do worse and worse. So this thing is starting to call him out, and it's starting to, let him know how bad his life is, how bad it is. And he's like saying he hates the UK because the system has put him in the position that he is in as a poor man, as a drunkard, as a person that just can't rise above the system. I mean, that's that's a lot. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about what. So, like, they're always there together. They were there together in the prologue, and then they were there in kind of that little bit of a scene where they're in jail. They're kind of next to each other all the time. And I think just slightly in the prologue, you kind of saw the jumpsuit or the sweatshirt. You saw Ren in the darker gray sweatshirt for a second. So it's kind of making me think that it is the same person. It's also going with the Vincent Van Gogh kind of analogy where there's a split personality going on, but it's not so much a split personality as it's just people succumbing to the demons, and the environment that they're getting put in is driving those demons to, push them into doing things like they're doing. So Vincent, that Van Gogh looking guy, which is, I believe, a renegade, and dang, he looks like it. I mean, I guess I could do a little Vincent Van Gogh, but not quite as good as that guy. Um, yeah, so he's just walking down the street because he's drunk, but he's going through these alleyways, and then he runs into the girl. He calls her a dirty name. You guys in the UK, you love those dirty names. And then that's when he says he's Lucifer. So it's like he's pissed about the world, the bad spirits bothering him. Boom. It's just fate have it. He runs into the girl, and the girl has a boyfriend. And then, as Rand was saying, it is the rules of the streets, man. The rules of the streets are no joke. I've watched many people go down in a street fight just from a single punch, and their life, punch, and then their head hits the concrete, and then it's over. So yeah, it's a dangerous game we play out there. And so Vincent struggling, gets punched, or he gets into a fight, but you see that Vincent kind of turned the tide because he grabbed that bottle, cracked the bottle, and stuck the guy. And when Ren was sitting there, you could see the bottle had blood all over it. So I'm assuming that Vincent killed the dude. And then that's when the cop from the first one, from Jenny and Screech, rolls up, and he has a chance to pop him and kill him, but he doesn't. He basically takes him down. That's a decision, like a last second. There's another environmental last second decision. It could go this way, it could go that way. You got to live with your decisions. Oh my God, this stuff is so. The layers here are just absolutely insane. I don't know. I could be off. Won't be the first time the Wolfhound's been off. But I'm seeing a little bit of that. And then Vincent Van Gogh in the chords, back to the chords. Vincent Van Gogh is an artist. And a true artist, like Ran, is never done, right? He's never complete. You just another stroke, another change, another, just basically almost like fate, it just comes and goes. And so his chords kind of have the kind of an unfinished sound to them because there's something else happening. That artwork, that masterpiece is never done. And maybe that's what we're going to get with this. Maybe this masterpiece will never be done. And I would be totally okay with that. I would be so okay with that. But yeah, that's my analysis, man. Oh, man. Man. Oh, and the ghost. That ghost is that ghost is bothering me. You just put a ghost there, like I've got my medals on my shelf. I don't just put my medals up there. Yeah, flexing, not flexing, but just letting people know I served. And so everything is done with a purpose. The sunflowers are burning down, so it's like, maybe that life is going down, and that's Vincent's life. And the ghost might just be that spirit. And it almost felt like when they were waltzing around that there was a ghost. That felt like, in the prologue that to the trumpets, it was like coming in and out like a ghost. Like maybe that spirit is already floating around. It could be kind of a prologue to what's going to happen to Vincent. Also, it could just be the spirit that evil is already there with Vincent. But then, I kind of saw that same type of motion after the bottle to the body. So there was the spirit going on there too. So it could be, like I said, it could be the evil spirit, or it could be Vincent's gone too. But right now, I'm gonna go with the evil spirit as we go a little bit further, because Vincent was cuffed, so I don't see that he's passed away. And there was also some images of him in the prison there. So my brain is like fried. What do you guys think? You think I got any of that right? Or you think I'm just like that is my alternate personality, and I'm just seeing something out of nothing? But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And wow, the fans that were in that chat, there were some really funny things that people were saying in there, earlier on. I had to get out. I had to get out. You guys show up in force. I'm going to do my best to get this video out as soon as I, get it through the whole process of, editing and uploading. And man, the copyright strikes are just killing us reactors. Like UMG is just crushing us. So if you ever get a chance, sign that petition and let UMG know they don't control YouTube, and that you guys like this kind of stuff. Yeah, check my links below. I do life coaching. I do some other stuff. If you want to make a song recommendation, go ahead and check Analog Man Podcast Store and make a recommendation there. Or when I premiere this live, let me know what you want me to do next, or put it in the comment section. Please do me a favor, blow the comment section up, blow it up, blow it up. Also, this might be the video that gets me to 10K. I'm so close. Renegades, please come through. Please come through for the Wolfhound. We come through for Ren. I'm glad he's feeling better. It looks like, some of the treatment he's gone through is taking, and he's doing well. I also want to see Ren do, because I just love the storytelling and the UK accent and, the Welsh, I just think it would be really cool. I guess he doesn't have a Welsh accent. Everybody told me it's only a UK accent, but to me it sounds like that. But what I would really like to see is him do, if you could take like something like Magical Mystery Tour from the Beatles, psychedelic, like a real psychedelic version of some of these same songs with a psychedelic version in the back, that would be cool. I think that would sound kind of wicked. I mean, I don't want to say, he's making a masterpiece. You don't have to change it. But like we said, a masterpiece is never done. So maybe he'll do something like that. Yeah, all in all, I probably missed a bunch of stuff. And, I'm just really loving it. What's with you guys in your tracksuits? Should the Wolfhound get a tracksuit? If I get a tracksuit, man, my kids will think I'm nuts. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll get a tracksuit. I've done it a few times in the thumbnails. Maybe I'll do it again. We'll see. But hey, thank you for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate people who leave the comments, and also everybody who does those donations, like the super chats. They're on whether I'm live or not. And also the Stan Store where you guys request a song, because all that helps. Us reactors, we're not making bag. I guarantee that. I've put out about 100 videos so far, and that's taken about, I'll say, maybe 4 or 5 months. It's less than 1,000 US. So how many hours are put into that process? So I'm not saying feel sorry for me. I'm just saying just have a better understanding of kind of what goes on with this reaction stuff. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate Ren. I hope to see you guys really soon. And man, I can't wait. I cannot wait till the next one. I know you put some stuff out on Instagram, and I don't use Instagram, so Hey, if you see something I need to see, just put something in my comment section now or later, and I read all my comments, and then I'll go check Instagram with somebody else's account. I don't like Meta. I'll see you guys on the next one. I am the Wolfhound, and yeah, this is the Wolfhound's tale. Actually, it's just Vincent's tale, but I'll see you on the next one.